Hello, good evening. This is MX24 News, broadcasting live from our studios at number 7 Oleander Street, East Legon, Accra. In the next 30 minutes, we'll serve you with news stories making the rounds here in Ghana and around the world. My name is Emefa Adeti. Please stay. Many thanks for your company. We begin tonight from the Asin North constituency, where ballots are currently being counted in the 99 polling stations as the by-elections conducted earlier today comes to a close. About 41,000 valid voters were expected to cast their votes as the NPP, an NDC and Liberal Party of Ghana's battle it out to find a replacement for the parliamentary seat of the constituency, which was declared vacant by Parliament. A Supreme Court ruling declared the elections of the former MP James Jechi as null and void and directed the Parliament to expunge his name from its records. Though the election process has been relatively peaceful, there has been pockets of violence at Asin Praso, leading to the firing of gunshots. Another issue that characterized this election was that both the NDC and MPP are accused each other of both vote buying. General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Fifi Kwete, who was reacting to the issue of vote buying allegations, said the NDC cannot match the MPP in terms of resources and therefore cannot be accused of inducing constituents.
I would say that by and large, our friends on the other side, being in government, are known exactly for doing what they do. We can anticipate that a lot more will be done.
Do you mean part. The NDC in opposition is broke?
NDC obviously can never compete with MPP when it comes to money. You know that. I mean, clearly they have access to virtually the whole government money. They can share as much as they want. It's not just, bribery is not just in terms of even the money that they are sharing today, but even the whole degeneration of impoverishing people and then coming on election time to come and deceive them that you are actually caring for them, constructing roads overnight, building this and building that. That all is part of the big corruption that is going on. But we are hoping our people, even though there's a lot of difficulty in the economy, will be able to appreciate that this amount to just insulting their intelligence. I mean, not caring about them and waiting until election before you take care of them. So let's hope our people are awake to that.
Meanwhile, parliamentary sitting was adjourned today after a few papers were laid in the House. The adjournment was due to the absence of majority of members of parliament. The MPs had abandoned sitting to support their respective candidates in their North by-elections. Majority Leader Osei Chairman Sabunso, who has been in the constituency since the weekend, expressed hope that the MPP's Charles Opoku will emerge victorious, while MP for Doma West Vincent Opon Asamoah is also optimistic that James Jechi will be declared winner after the results have been collected. Now, some of the few MPs who are present in the parliament have been speaking to the media.
In the communities along the main roads, those are major settlements. My impression is that the NDC, the NPP is on top in those areas. But I would say in the region of about 60 to 40% in favor of the NPP. I went to some of the village settlements, and to be honest, there I saw that the NDC, the 3 settlements that I visited, it appears the NDC is also stronger in those communities.
I was there on Saturday and up to Sunday. I also went to some of the villages, and if you ask, I would say we are also ahead of them. After 5 o'clock, you know what the figures will be coming out. We will know exactly what is going to happen. I think they love Jechi so much. They like Kwesi so much. And looking at what he's going through, especially the media, the legal front, most of them would like to vote for him. At least they are saying that they even want another by-election because they know once this by-election, MPP will be there and will pour in the resources. And we could see it. Wherever you went on Saturday, Sunday, you could see cars loading goods all over the place. Yes, I even have some of the pictures on my phone in the tipper tracks. So it is good for them when there's by-election. To them, a lot of resources are pouring in.
On Wednesday, June 28, 2023, has been declared a statutory public holiday by the Ministry of Interior to mark the celebration of the 2023 Eid al-Adha by Muslims in the country. A statement signed by Minister for the Interior, Ambrose Derry, reads, "The general public is hereby informed that Wednesday, 28 June 2023, which marks Eid al-Adha, is a statutory public holiday and should be observed as such throughout the country. The celebration of Eid al-Adha is to commemorate Prophet Ibrahim's devotion to Allah and his readiness to sacrifice his son Ismail. At the very point of sacrifice, Allah replaced Ismail with a ram, which was to be slaughtered in place of his son. This command from Allah was a test of Prophet Ibrahim's willingness and commitment to obey his Lord's command. Without question, therefore, Eid al-Adha means the festival of sacrifice. Depending on the country, the celebration of Eid al-Adha can last anywhere between 2 to 4 days. The act of Qurbani sacrifice is carried out following the Eid Salah, Eid prayers, which were performed in congregations at the nearest mosques on the morning of the Eid. Meanwhile, some reports suggest that the Ashanti region recorded the highest anthrax disease that led to a sharp drop in the patronage of the animals at the Kumasi Abattoir ahead of the Eid al-Adha festival. Production manager at the Kumasi Abattoir Company Limited, Michael Tangbont, says they were expecting many sellers to flood the market with animals, but the ban placed on animals from the Upper East region due to the disease has lowered the numbers. There's more in the following report.
In anticipation of the upcoming Eid al-Adha, thousands of animals have been transported to the Kumasi Abattoir, attracting a flurry of buyers in search of the perfect sacrificial animal. The venue is crowded with bleating sheep, cows and goats, all vying for attention from visitors. Many sellers have come from miles away to showcase their animals with prices ranging from affordable to exorbitant. Buyers are carefully examining the animals, checking their teeth and health before making a purchase. The production manager of the Kumasi Abattoir Company Limited, Michael Tongwan, says they were expecting many animals to flood the market, but the ban placed on animals from the Upper East region due to the anthrax disease has lowered the numbers.
Before the Salah, normally we do preparations towards the Salah because during the Salah, that is the Eid al-Adha, many people come to this place. Others bring animals to come and sell, especially sheep and then cattle. They can be different because as of now, we're expecting plenty cattle around and then sheep. But it has, as of now, we have not seen our way through. Only some few animals are around because of the ban on animals coming from the Upper East region.
He says though the prices are yet to peak, they are likely to move as high as 20,000 for the cows and 6,000 for the sheep. Roughly, the animal ranges from 4,000 to 15,000. During the Ramadan, some goes as high as 20,000 and above. Because some people rear the animals just to target the occasion. So they fatten them very well and they bring them, and they look unique. So because of their unique appearance, they become very expensive. The sheep is also the same. Sheep normally, apart from ceremonial activities, they are also not having any market. And you know, some of the Muslims, some slaughter the sheep and some slaughter cattle. So anytime it is time for Eid al-Adha, that one too goes up. For sheep, they are around 1,000 to 6,000. Mr. Tuman indicates that the importation of meat from other countries is crippling the local market. Therefore, there is a need for government's intervention.
We now encounter importation of plenty parts of the meat, especially the intestines, the trotters, that's the cow feet. They bring them inside, and sometimes you see a liver, you cannot phantom a very huge liver. What type of animal liver is that sometimes the lungs, they are all found in the market. Sometimes you see the cow feet, very big. Normal animal, normal cow feet should not be like that. They are all in the market. Sometimes you see cow head, very salty, and what other you, they are tasteless. And they come in to filtrate the market because they are cheaper.
70 to 80% of all the animals at the Kumasi abattoir are imported from neighboring Burkina Faso and Mali, but the rising value of the CFA against the cedi is affecting the business.
Yes, it affects the business because of the way the cedi actually relate to the CFA. When it comes and they convert it, the prices become, like I said, 15,000 wet an animal. If you put on the table to cut 10 cedis or 20 cedis and sell to the household people, how do you make your money? And so some of these animals are coming from these neighboring countries. Ghana, actually, we don't have enough animals. We supply only 20% to the abattoir. 80% is coming from the Mali, Burkina, and other neighboring countries.
The Ashanti Regional Chief Butcher Ibrahim Wahab Tekuma says the high prices of animals has seriously affected employment at the abattoir.
When you look at Kumasi Abattoir is the third largest market in Ashanti region. There is no doubt about that. It is estimated from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. over 6,000 people visit Kumasi Abattoir to do business and leave. And today we are not getting it the way we want it. So definitely it's affecting employment.
He calls on government to invest in the business like other countries in order to boost the economy and also create many job opportunities.
We want government to intervene and support this particular sector very well. Because when you look at today, as I speak to you, there is no sound economy in the world today where this particular sector is not counted. You can mention Brazil, you can mention Australia, and you can mention the whole mighty America.
The head of public health unit at the Kumasi Abattoir, Dr. N.S. Watson, says several measures have been put in place to prevent the outbreak of the anthrax disease in Kumasi and that the public is safe patronizing meat from the slaughterhouse.
The public should be rest assured that in Ashanti region we haven't had the outbreak, and then they can go ahead with their patronage of meat from our slaughterhouses. Yes, and mainly the Kumasi Abattoir.
Reporting for MX24 News, I'm Fatal Bayega, Kumasi.
Now, the telecommunications giant MTN has announced a withdrawal of their earlier decision to upwardly review their cash-out fee for mobile money transactions. MTN is an SMS circular over of the weekend announced that effective Saturday, July 1st, 2023, cash-out transaction below 2,000 will attract a fee of 1% of the transactions among, while cash-out transaction from 2,000 Ghana cedis and above will attract a flat fee of 20 Ghana cedis. However, in a new SMS being sent to customers today, MTN says the planned review of the cash-out fee for Momo has been withdrawn. The current cash-out fee is 1% capped at 10 Ghana cedis remained and will be charged to your wallet. Do not pay any other fee. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Just Momo it. It's unclear why the network rescinds its earlier decision, but many customers of MTN had described the increments as unfair and threatened to change to other networks. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of Easy Group Ghana, Wilmina Sapo, is urging young entrepreneurs to do what interests them in the field of business and get mentors to guide them on their business path. According to her, young entrepreneurs do not need much money to start their businesses, but rather guidance. She said this in an interview on the AM Club on MX24 TV as the world celebrates International MSME Day today.
Look around you. There's surely something out there you love to do, something you can produce that will sell more. Do not think of, probably you have A in your life, A is selling clothes, so necessarily you should also sell clothes. No. Look around you, what interests you? Maybe you are very good when it comes to skincare. Maybe you are very good when it comes to hair. Get someone who is producing hair. Get someone who is producing what you love. Get closer to them. Talk to them. I would love to also do this, do that. Do not scare, do not be shy or anything. Just draw closer to them and then tell them, share your ideas. They will come all out.
The Brain Hill International School held their annual graduation ceremony today to usher learners transitioning from the 2022-2023 academic year to another stage. The ceremony was also to celebrate and acknowledge the efforts of students and teachers throughout the academic year. Speaking as the guest of honor for the ceremony, Minister for Education Yao Osei Edichum urged parents to encourage the awards, especially females, to from an early stage develop an interest in STEM education to promote innovation in Ghana and across the African continent. There's more here.
Ready to go. The Brain Hills International School held their annual graduation ceremony today to usher learners transitioning from the 2022-2023 academic year to another stage. The ceremony was also to celebrate and acknowledge efforts of students and teachers throughout the academic year. Speaking in an interview with MX24 News, principal of the school, Isaac Roxanne Ekpe, said the school focuses on a holistic form of education which includes taekwondo, ballet, music and dance to help develop skills and talents of children beyond the classroom.
Education per se, it's not only about what we do in the classroom following the normal structured curriculum. Education goes beyond that. There are some students who are very much skilled in other areas. So we introduce things like ballet and taekwondo to help the kids to actually develop those skills that they have. And some of these things go a long way to help them in future. At times, you go to certain school for admission, especially in the universities, and they want to look at other skills that you have, the extracurricular activities that you have engaged in while you are in high school. And so some of these things come in handy. So they don't just leave the walls of our school just with what we call book knowledge, but also some other practical skills that they can use in their daily lives.
The Director General of the National Lotteries Authority, who doubles as the director of the school, Samuel Oku, while applauding parents for their immense support, revealed that plans are underway to include the lower secondary department in September and participate in the school's first Cambridge primary checkpoint examination from the Cambridge Assessment International Education from 2024.
In celebrating this milestone together, we look forward to the tremendous promise the future holds for the school. We will continue to celebrate and embrace innovation and adapt to the changing trends and best practices, providing our pupils with the skills and knowledge they need to reach their full potential as they prepare to become the leaders of tomorrow. God willing, we would open our doors to our lower secondary school department in September. Again, next year, our Year 6 students will also write the school's first Cambridge primary checkpoint examination from the Cambridge Assessment International Education in the United Kingdom. We wish them well and fervently hope they will excel beyond expectation and make all of us proud. In conclusion, I'd like to just felt appreciation to everyone who has contributed to the success and growth of our school over the past 5 years. For parents and teachers and all of us here, we become an important stakeholders in Ghana's educational system. The accomplishments are a testament to the collective effort of an incredible community that believes in the power of education. It is true, they say all professionals can boast, but the teacher taught them all. To our teachers, we say thank you. Thank you for shaping the minds of these children. Lately, I'm sure many of the parents here will agree with me that the contact hours between us and the kids are very limited as compared to the contact hours that they spend with their teachers.
Minister for Education Yao Osei Edichum, touting government's progress in the education sector, urged parents to encourage their wards, especially female, to from an early stage develop an interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in order to promote innovation in Ghana and across the African continent.
We are going to ensure that Ghana does not lose out on its place in the world by forgetting about STEM. We are in the 4th industrial revolution. You don't have to walk into any place now to pay your bills. You can pay using Momo. You can even renew your national health insurance on your phone, thanks to the vision and visionary work of our Vice President of the Republic. All those who were supposed to be doing these jobs, they are going to disappear. So every invention may bring about the disappearance of your job. But it will hurt the nation the more if our youth are not the ones who are bringing about some of these inventions so that other countries can buy those inventions from us. Our parents, since you have younger children coming up, I want you to know that pursuing engineering at high school is now possible. Things are changing. We want to break barriers in this country so that the only thing that can stop the young men and women from progressing will be themselves and nobody else. We want to remove the barriers that have prevented us to become innovative individuals who can change the course of history of our nation. This nation's future will be better than now in the next few years. I believe the better days of our nation is ahead of us and not behind us. But it's going to call upon all of us to come together, do our part, mold the minds of our children and make sure they become the best that we can ever have anywhere in the world.
Some parents also share their experiences so far with enrolling their wards in the school.
My son who graduated today has been with Brain Hill for 5 years. So he came here when he was about 1. And through it all, Brain Hill has been just wonderful. I think the strategy that Brain Hill really took in mind the pain of parents, especially working mothers. So I think all in all, Brain Hill for me was a miracle for me.
Oh, it's been an exciting journey with Brain Hill so far. My wards have been in Brain Hill for just about 2 months, and I'm actually blown away with how much they've developed in the 2 months that they've been with the reception class. So it's been an exciting journey for me. I've enjoyed it so far. The older one is not here yet, but I'm encouraged to let her join them.
The academic is always their priority. So Brain Hill, I'm glad to witness my daughter graduating from reception to preschool. That's year 1. Thank you, Brain Hill. Thank you.
Now, the stand of Jamaican political activist Dr. Julius Garvey is urging Africans to educate their children with the history of the continent to correct misinformation about the black race. Dr. Julius Garvey, who is the son of the founder of Universal Negro Improvement Association, Marcus Garvey, said it is time that Africans take steps to ensure that the history of the continent is inculcated into young ones to avoid an apparent misrepresentation of the continent. Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican political activist known for his active campaign for the return of blacks to Africa. Dr. Julius Garvey was speaking at an event held in honor of his father in Accra.
Dr. Julius Garvey was in Ghana for the celebration of the legacies of his father. The event, held at the Jamrock restaurant in Accra, brought together some individuals from the African Americans Association, Caribbean Association of Ghana, as well as some other Africans in the diaspora. In an interaction with the gathering, the son of Marcus Garvey, Dr. Julius Garvey, noted that although he did not become a political activist like his father, he made sure that he represents the African culture and the teachings of his father through interactions with people in his daily life as a surgeon.
My conscious decision in terms of, who I was, who I am, and what I wanted to do was to be a doctor. I ended up being a surgeon, and I've practiced surgery for about 50 years, so that's been really my profession. And that's how I've interacted with my people, not as a politician, or an academician or what have you. But of course, I was Marcus Garvey's son, so I have understood his teachings. My mother took very good care of that, so that from the earliest age, I knew exactly what my dad was all about, what he had gone through, what his principles were, and I've always felt that I was an African wherever I was.
He also called on Africans to educate their children about the African history and correct misinformation and miseducation about the African culture.
There's no question about that. I mean, certainly, what's his name, DeSantis in Florida and so on, they don't want to learn anything about African history. They don't want us to know anything about our own history, even in America. So, we have to take care of that ourselves. That can't happen to us again. We know about the miseducation of African people in terms of their their books, etc. So we be able to, edit and publish our books and circulate them among our people so we have the proper references in terms of education. Yeah.
Chairperson of the Marcus Mosiah Garvey Foundation, Naomi Palmer Buchanan, said the foundation is undertaking training programs for some youth in Accra aimed at continuing the legacy of Marcus Garvey. He said they hope to equip young ones with skills that will make them self-sufficient.
We are trying our endeavor best to basically continue with the legacy of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We are currently doing some training in Krokobiti. We've got some of our trainees here who are learning electrics and electronics. We are building skills with the young people who really have not got any other option to pull themselves together to make sure that they become economically viable, become self-sufficient, which is what Marcus Garvey tells us that we need to do. So please, let us start looking at how we can build together. Yes, we have, as I think someone said to me, I think it's Norma, said to me earlier, she said when the slave ships were dropping us all off, they didn't drop off Jamaicans, they didn't drop off Barbadian, they didn't drop off African American, they drop off Africans. And we have now come back. We have been, our foreparents, Marcus Garvey, has made it possible for us to come back, to take the triangular on the reverse, and we are here.
Meanwhile, President of the Caribbean Association of Ghana, Kevoy Burton, who spoke to MX24 News on the sideline of the event, noted that the association is collaborating with African Americans Association of Ghana to undertake various projects across the country.
We're looking to help everybody who is coming, and we're just looking to see how well we can build Ghana as our new home. I think we are now going into, I've actually reached out, I've been talking to the African Americans Association of Ghana, and we're talking about collaborating on projects, initiatives, and all these things. So I think we're in a great position now.
He however urged governments to fix the roads to improve access to parts of the country in order to improve tourism.
And move in and assimilate into society as easy as possible. Zane, I also believe that, the tourism part of Ghana, one, fix the roads. You see me? I think if we fix the roads, then we have easier access to homes. We have easier access to accommodations. We have better cars. We can move. You understand what I'm saying? So there are many things I think Ghana can do, but right now I think Ghana is opening the eyes of a lot of people from the West, and people are knowing that, hey, Africa is really a place for us to come and see.
Now, on the international front, Sierra Leonean opposition candidate Sumura Kamara of the All People's Congress APC has called the provisional results in the country's presidential elections as daylight robbery, alleging that his electoral agents were not allowed to verify the ballot counting. With the majority of ballots counted, the incumbent Julius Maada Bio appears to have a strong lead over his main rival, Sumura Kamara. Some election watchers say Mr. Bio's success can come likely attributed to a series of strategic electoral alliances he made in the course of his campaign, including in opposition strongholds. European Union observers have, however, criticized the Electoral Commissions for lack of transparency and noted incidents of violence in some regions during the vote. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission in Sierra Leone says it expects the final results on Sunday's presidential election to be published much later. That's it for tonight's edition of MX24 News. Do log on to mx24online.com for more stories. My name is Emefa Adeti. Do have a good evening.